I actually saw the new Jurassic World Rebirth. I mean, I missed the beginning of the T-Rex scene, and I got to see the tail end of it. But the movie itself was great, even though I missed a big chunk of it in the middle. It was...
Nothing happens in the middle of movies anyway. You're fine. All right, this is This Week in Nerd History podcast, where we take a look at all the fun, dumb, nerdy stuff in the past, present, future. I'm Mike. Joining me, as always, we got AJ and Sal. How are you guys doing?
Salute your shorts. I don't know why I said that.
Sure, why not?
I saw that
it felt
apparently,
like saluting.
Apparently all of them are on Paramount Plus now.
Really?
Like you can watch
Really?
Legend of the Hidden Temple, Guts,
Oh, damn.
Salute Your Shorts, Welcome Freshmen. I'm like, oh, yes, okay.
Nice. Well, all right. Gonna have to beef up my Paramount Plus subscription.
So what are we talking about today? We're finally going to talk about some GravityFalls. It was the recent, there was some sort of anniversary.
They were first released on June 15th.
So
we're just a month late.
Just in time.
2012 was the first episode release.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
It is.
Because for many of our viewers, it was.
Yup.
I did find
The elusive
stuff here. I thought it was more of a pitch packet thing, but it's a model pack. So it's all these drawings, not like final approved stuff too. So it's like a little bit different. But then another cool thing that I'll share later on is it also came with this DVD, which I had to pull an old ass computer out of my closet that has a DVD drive in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ripped it off there. So it's the pilot episode, which is only 12 minutes long, and it was produced as like not proof of concept really, but just sort of like here's a production pilot. So it's different from the one the first episode. So I just grabbed a couple clips.
I think I saw it recently because it's available online.
Oh,
I
is
think.
it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe I'm hoping I won't
get did all that
sued into oblivion. But it's cool. I just did a side-by-side of the opening just to show you like how it's different,
nice.
but like a little bit
I remember recently we were watching something and I was like, this is weird because Mabel's like off.
Everything's a little bit different.
Everything's a little different. I'm like, she's off character model. That's and I was like, what is this? And Dad was like, oh, it's the pilot episode, like pre-show.
But then the other thing we're going to talk about, which we're late on as well, is just looking back at Back to the Future, which was what? That was 40 years?
40 years.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm constantly, any anniversary, I always follow it up with holy shit, but it's like, that's how time works. It's
Holy shit.
That's because none of them are 5-year anniversaries. They're multiple decades.
Yeah. Somebody's trying to organize like a 5-year college reunion. I'm like, I just saw I still hang out with you guys. Like, I don't need to, that's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
or
never.
like we all haven't moved from this one city.
No.
So
I've never gone to any of those things. I can talk myself out of those in a second.
I went to an all-girls high school, so when I do reunions, it's actually quite fun. But it's weird because everyone has, like, if we have name tags, they're all names that I don't recognize. I'll be like, wait, what? Because they have married names that are different. And I have to be like, no, that's not your name. Your name is this other thing.
Yeah.
I call them out. They should all be required to have our maiden names on our name tags.
At the very least, just for clarity's sake.
I liked it because we just had it at a bar. We had it at Dockside in Milford. And just drank and chatted.
That's cool.
It wasn't like in a school gym where I like assumed reunions would be.
Like on television?
Yeah, Romeo and Michelle ruined me.
It wasn't it wasn't a school sanctioned event.
Sal, you saw Superman?
I saw Superman. It's great. Go check it out, everybody.
Awesome.
Apparently, the Amazon Prime screening was real. I got to see it on Tuesday. And
did you have to work at the factory to earn your ticket?
Yeah, I had to ship a few packages, but it wasn't that bad. I only had to cross a couple of state lines to do it, but it was still fun. And I did only pee in like 2 bottles. So,
all right.
All right.
2 bottles fulls. It's the same bottle.
Yeah.
And I bring the bottle. Like they didn't give me one.
It's BYOB. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
BYOB. At the Amazon
BYOPB.
But yeah, it was great. There were a lot of people in Superman shirts, which I thought was kind of cute.
Aw.
And one curmudgeon in a Batman shirt who was like, no! And it wasn't me.
Why would you go to the early screening in a Batman shirt? Just to be like,
I don't know.
My friends dragged me here.
But he looked like a real chump.
He's not the real superhero.
No. Batman's not in it, by the way. Spoilers. So he was really disappointed.
That's fine.
It was still really fun, really cool stuff.
Nice.
Standouts were Nathan Fillion was amazing. David Cornsweet is Superman. He just nailed it. Really infused that kind of Midwestern hokiness into the character. Not a single miscasting. Everybody's great. Every role they cast was great. People are going to fall in love with Mr. Terrific, despite the name. They're going to love it. He's super cool and fun. And you're going to love it. Awesome. It's a really fun movie. And it's also one of those things where it's it felt like a lived in universe. It was a smart move to be like, here's our whole cinematic universe in one movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, got it. No time.
Like
now we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And rather than just because it's been Marvel, it's not a knock on Marvel. They all that time and build up and everything like that. It's nice to just be this is the world. It's already crazy everywhere. So here
exactly.
Yeah.
And we're not going to waste some kind of expository world building in a Swamp Thing movie where only a quarter of our audience will go see it. Just put it all in Superman. Yeah, it literally opens with here's when metahumans showed up, here's when Superman showed up, here's when this movie takes place. Moving on. And I'm like, thank you. All right, let's go.
Nice.
That's great. So it really is really cool. And the more comic book crap the more little Easter eggs you'll see. But if you're not plugged into that world, you'll still just have a straight up fun James Gunnian superhero movie that's weird because the dude made Super, which is the Rainn Wilson super dark send up of superheroes. And then he made the most pure-hearted Superman movie where it's hey, golly. And I'm like, really? Okay. Nailed it. There's a huge sequence that that did make me upset until I found out that apparently there's a deleted scene that explains why that is, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's in my head then.
Gotcha.
But overall, I was thrilled. Everybody did a great job, and it's a fun little story.
I actually saw the new Jurassic World Rebirth. Saw that on Tuesday because we were like, ooh, we got the Stubbs membership. We get the discount on Tuesday.
Nice.
So we went and don't see that movie with two kids. I mean,
too scary.
Next to me is Felix, and he doesn't like scary stuff, so he doesn't want to watch it. I brought a blanket for them in case it got cold in the theater, so he's just half under the blanket most of the time. But then he got growing pains, and he was in a lot of pain, and I was like, oh no, what do we do? We're in this, it was only an hour into the movie. The thing is 2 hours and 14 minutes, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go get some painkillers for you, and I'll be back. So I left the theater, went ran to the nearest store, got some Tylenol, came back. But the movie itself was great, even though I missed a big chunk of it in the middle. It was really
happens
fun.
In the middle of movies anyway. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I missed the beginning of the T-Rex scene, and I got to see the tail end of it. Tail end of the T-Rex. But the suspense is high, and they throw in a family of civilians, so that the whole time you're just thinking the whole time I'm just you better not kill these kids or I'll be so mad. Don't you fucking kill these kids. And spoiler alert, the kids survive because of course they have to. Yeah. But plenty of other people die that you're right. They have enough, throwaway dies, and they have enough people that you care about that die. And then of course there's the bad guy, the guy that everybody hates, and he doesn't make it either.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hate that guy.
The Jurassic Park franchise is way over the top of this is the bad guy. These are the bad people. You instantly are going to hate these people. These people
are going to try to kill a kid by accident. These people care about nothing except money.
I will warn you, there are they say shit more than a few times. So if you do bring your kids, and as long as they're exposed to that kind of language, but because we went with a friend who has a young kid, and he's like, now he can't go, and I'm like,
you can go.
Because it's
what?
Yeah. There's enough swearing in enough movies.
There's enough swearing when I stub my toe.
Yeah.
There's worse.
I think my 4-year-old started saying, God damn it. He says it he says it in an appropriate situation. He doesn't say it he says it when he gets hurt, he says it.
Yeah.
Which is like
a little
he
adult.
He said it once, and my mom was like, did he say God damn it? And then I heard him say it. We were bringing him to school one day, and he was getting out of the car, and he hit something, and he was like, God damn it. And me and Dan looked at each other and were like, did he just
uh-oh.
And I was like, I think that's my fault. I'm pretty sure that's my fault because I think that's what I say when I hurt myself.
Yeah.
I say, oh, God damn it.
He said, Christ. Just so tired.
does it like an adult.
Back.
He's not like, he's not going around like, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it. He's just he gets hurt and God damn it. At least he's doing it right.
Yeah, at least he's using it correctly.
Yes,
That's
he's using it correctly.
Thing. Right.
Yes.
All right, so this is Yesterday in Nerd History. We were talking about earlier. Gravity Falls premiered like a month ago, 2012, like June 15th. That was the worst way to phrase that. I don't know, what am I even saying?
A month ago, 13 years ago?
A month ago
years
today,
ago, a month ago.
12 years ago on 2012.
Well, the most exciting thing I think about talking about Gravity Falls at this time of year is Summerween happened recently too. Summerween was on June 22nd. So for those of you who celebrate,
I have not watched the end of the series. So like it's like the last 6 episodes.
Oh.
And I was catching. I was like, I'm just gonna like start over and just watch all the way through. And like up till last night, I'm still like I'm like up to the last 6. I'm like, damn, I was trying to get in so I could like catch the ending of it. But that shows like it's funny that it's not that old, but there's so many jokes in there that like when you're just watching through, I'm like, wow, that joke would not make it to air in like in a modern show. And they're not like risque or anything like that, but it was just sort of like things like with the mind erase one, and like they kind of overdo it. And then one of the characters is like, I don't know if I'm a guy or a girl, and like those, it's a harmless joke. It's not meant for anything about like any of that kind of stuff, but like just the types of stuff that's out now. It's like, just to be safe, let's not do that. Let's not even touch that kind of stuff anymore. But it's funny how quickly things, just looking back at like a show like that, just how quickly things can change, or just like jokes, to just like stay away from it because you don't want to deal with like any misunderstanding or aftermath or whatever kind of thing.
And you know that like they faced opposition when they were doing the show. And it's a Disney show.
Yeah.
Like, if anything is more restrictive than any other, it's going to be the mouse.
The mouse. Blame it all on the mouse.
It's even stuff like just being involved in some development, IP development and stuff like that for like kids shows, generally like that sort of age group. They're both 12, right?
Yeah, they're like preteens.
Yeah. So like even just Mabel being a bit boy crazy, to me, I was like, wow, I feel like that wouldn't be a thing. I feel like that would, you would probably want it to be like
12-year-old me was boy crazy. So.
Right, because that's the thing though. Like you're totally right.
Yeah.
But like in a modern show, to me, I feel like that's like, or like the way she's presented.
Yeah.
Younger. She seems younger than 12 in the show to me.
Well, that's because of Kristen Shaw's voice. Oh my God, did you see? I just got attacked by the fly.
But that shows, I kind of forgot how fun and wacky that show is from each episode, and super creative and everything, of like all the different mysteries, and like they're all a little bit different, and then they're kind of, a lot of callbacks and shit like that. It's super fun. Yeah.
You could feel like Hirsch had like a love of like cryptozoology, but also the whole ciphers and references and involvement of the audience. Like he apparently went places and put stuff in spots. It wasn't just the end of the show; it was also like throughout. Like you could actually go on hunts. People were sharing, data with each other about how to, because at the end you'd hear this like voice at the end of the opening credits, and it was actually like the key to one of the ciphers that they put out, but backwards. And I'm just like, God, what a like I know a little bit about TV development. All the other shit is its own job, and you're putting that on top of running this show that must be a nightmare every single day.
Yeah, that is like that's always one of the most impressive things too. Is like planting the seed, or like way down the line. It's something that's going to pay off 30 episodes in, or whatever it is wild to me.
Yeah,
there's that one I'm blanking on it too right now, Sal, if you remember the pilot for the first episode of Futurama.
Oh yeah.
When they have Nibbler's shadow in there, and that doesn't pay off till fucking season. I was like,
3
that's
seasons later. Yeah,
crazy to me.
So, I know,
but I love that so much, and it's like I don't even know. I mean, being part of like a pitch process and stuff. Like the last time I really put something together was several years ago, but like places wanted like a multi-season arc of like, where is your story going?
Yeah.
And to get into that, like I wouldn't want to put something like that in there, like that much detail of like, because you have to talk about who Nibbler is and what's happening. So like, but like you're planning out a bigger arc for your show just to show like, hey, this has legs to go on. And then like, those sort of things are figured out in there, but to like plan that out is one thing. And then to have it stay and actually like get all through the different steps and like still have it in there and have it make sense and then hope that your show's going to last long enough to pay off down the road is like, I love that shit. It's so cool.
Yeah. And I imagine the best way to get around that is just don't tell them.
Don't tell them. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. No, it's a simple show. It's going to be episodic about a couple of kids having some fun, having some laughs.
Yeah.
And then you just like throw in all this stuff. But yeah, great show. But yeah, I loved the mystery and finding out there was a mystery. I'm like, whoa. Because it turns out like, I don't know about you guys, but like pilots are cool. Like they're great because they introduce the show. Typically the next episode is always better. Like, I don't think if I had watched the first episode of Venture Brothers, I would have loved Venture Brothers. But because I saw Tag Sale You're It first, I was like, this is my show. And then watching the pilot, I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's better now.
And isn't the pilot supposed to draw you in?
It is. It's desperately supposed to draw you in. Like the Firefly pilot, where it was like a movie. And I'm like, this is cool, but like the train job is technically better. Like it's just watching them do the thing. Like be the show.
Pilots are hard. Like that's because you're kind of finding your footing, you're not quite sure, like you want to do those teases too. You're kind of like drawn to them. It's like a big shiny button that you want to kind of do. It's like, oh, you want more episodes? We're kind of laying this out for you here. That's like Stan going down the vending machine at the end, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, especially too, like you're trying to establish the world, the characters, the tone of the show, the pacing, like all these kind of things and get people interested to keep watching. And you're not only trying to get your audience, you're trying to get like your bosses, the channel, the network, and all that kind of stuff to be like, hey, it's going to be a fun show. So there's all these kind of like buttons you need to hit and people that you need to kind of like, I don't know, satisfy, like make sure that they've got a note that you have to get in there. Like it gets messy real quick. A lot of pilots stink because they don't know what like people making it are figuring it out on the fly. You don't have... maybe 4 or 5 episodes to kind of figure out who these characters are, that kind of thing. First episodes for me usually suck. They're like a little too tricky, or like I've gotten better at it, but like the exposition stuff, I used to be really bad at it. Just like over explain shit, or like that's kind of what like Tails' job was for a while. Tails would come in, explain what the situation is, and here's what we need to do next, like all the time. But now it's just like, now you can call it out and you make a joke of it and stuff like that. But like, it's funny. I'll show you guys as I was going through. I'll show all this other stuff. When I was going through and finding like our old GravityFalls stuff, just for backstory, a million years ago, myself, Michael William, Sonic, and a couple other people, Dave Tennant and Nate Cash, we sold a show to Disney called Counselors in Training. It was about looking back at it, I'm like, man, this is like a lot of this is like fucking GravityFalls. But we had already sold the show to Disney, and we were in the process. It was our big board pitch. We had written the script. The script got approved. We were in the board stage, so we were storyboarding this whole thing out. And part of like the thing, like we're in a room. It's the 4 of us, and then a room full of like high level Disney animation executives and stuff. So very nerve-wracking, but the thing that you're supposed to be doing is like get them to know who you are first and why this story means something to you. So the premise of our show, Counselors in Training, it was like kids in summer camp. They're 13-ish, and it's like right when they are going to be counselors in training. So it's like their first kind of job as like an adult and some responsibility and stuff. This is the first time I saw this thing. The date on here, it says fucking 2012. So that's how old this thing is. So it's our presentation to the group of like who we were at that age and like getting to know us, and then we get into the story. So I don't remember the text that was going along with this, but basically this first image, this is me.
Oh
my God.
Right? So we're talking about like what we were like when we were kids. And then this is Mike W.
Yep.
And this is Dave Tennant, who's he's a writer, like a a very accomplished TV writer and stuff, and he was teamed up with us, and we sold the pitch together. And I believe this guy is Nate Cash, who was a board artist for SpongeBob for a long time. He won an Emmy and everything. Super talented dude. So this is like us as kids talking about like what we were like when we were that age. This is me and Mike in 6th grade together, standing next to each other. That's me and my mom. Look at these shoulder pads here.
Oh my God.
Insane.
Oh my God.
So
That's awesome.
It goes on. There's Mike again. There's Dave. There's Nate. This is what Nate looked like at the time. So then we start to go into our show. So now like they get an idea. It's like breaking the ice, what we were like when we were kids and everything like that. And then this was our show, and it takes place in a crazy, wacky summer camp run by this very eccentric dude. Here's our 3 main characters, Riles, Gwen, and CJ. And then we're going through like what this show is about, their first real job. And then we're going through like all these other characters, and just like not seeing this in so long.
It's so fun.
Watching GravityFalls for like, a week.
Disney, can you pick this back up and make it a thing, please?
I was like, these are all like, there's so many. There's Sims. Sims was like a robot that where's Frank Meager runs the camp, and Sims is like, he's just like an inventor, and Sims was like his robot. This guy ran the town, just a crazy guy. Like there's so many people. I'm like, man, this is like a lot of parallels to what GravityFalls.
Yeah, there's even like a huge dude in flannel.
Exactly,
like, that's awesome.
exactly. That's one of the many steps that we had to go through in like developing a pilot or developing a show, and getting like we did the board stage, and then the show didn't make it any further than that. The next step was going to be like animatic and stuff, and we're thinking about like early casting and stuff like that for like voiceover for the animatic, not even like final,
right, not for the show.
Exactly. So that was like all that whole process, and it was 2.5 years of like all this crazy character development. So much of it was just character development and what the history of the town is, and like they just like assigned us to do that stuff for like a few months of just like get into every little thing about these characters. And none of that appeared in the pilot.
Right, and there's no script.
Right. So when we did eventually have the script and we boarded out the first episode, which was really wacky, all that shit, none of it came into play. But what it did was like informed us who those characters were.
Yes.
And when we're writing it, now we have an idea of like what sort of unique decision character moment those characters are going to have.
Yeah.
And what makes them like special in that moment. One thing that stood out to me all the time, Gwen, the girl and the one of the 3 main characters, an early thing that we just thinking about like what her style is, what her outfit is. One of the things that we were going with for a while was she had like 2 different shoes, 2 different styles of shoes on. Mm-hmm. And the whole story behind that was like her parents got divorced when she was young. That represented like her 2 paths that she was trying to take, and like some indecisions that she makes. So it like kind of led to all these unique kind of character moments that she might run into, and it just helped inform like what like response she's going to have, or what her sense of humor is, or all these like crazy things that it felt like a fucking like Karate Kid where you're just like why am I doing this?
Why am I doing all this? And, it's like, and then they start throwing punches, and you're like, holy shit, I know karate.
Now I know how to do it. So it was like a lot of just like, especially for me and Mike, like Dave had done it before. Nate Cash has been doing this shit for a long time too, but it was a lot of like just trusting the process of like, man, we're like really digging into these characters and like all these things. It was super fun. There was never a moment where we're like, I'm not fucking doing this. It was like the funnest thing you can imagine.
Yeah.
But it was just like those things. I'm like, there's times where you're just like, I don't really know why I'm doing it so much. But then when we're getting to the script phase, we all knew everything about these characters. And then like, you don't do it as much for those other characters like Frank Meager or Sims. Those guys are kind of more one note and fun to do. So that sort of fit, like all that stuff, all that process, and then like to get it through all those different steps, and then for like, Alex Hirsch to be like, and then in the opening we'll have a backwards voice that pays off in like 30 episodes, like that kind of, that's crazy to me, like to have that much like forethought. But there's like, for a show to get that far along in the process, there's so many like ultra creative people and like collaborative people that are going to be part of that show to help build it up, that it starts to make sense like how that stuff can get through, where whether it was Alex's idea or somebody else's or whatever, but like that team and that kind of whole group family thing of creating this world comes together, like makes it a little bit easier to do that stuff down the line, I think. But some of the other things I was going to share with you guys, none of this was approved, and sorry to Kimberly Mooney, who was one of the execs on the at Disney at the time. She's a very nice person. But like this is, they send us this big packet, and it's got all that print across there because it's like a screener. So like if this gets out and gets distributed around and stuff like that, then yeah, you know who did it. So, but this is just, I love this sort of stuff on its own is my favorite thing, of just character sheets and model sheets. I
love character sheets so much.
All these different they're rules or whatever, but it's for animators of like how the eyes are going to blink, all that kind of stuff that's thought out. It's all super necessary, how the hands are built. There's one of Dipper here of like, these things are so great of just like how the hat is. There's that famous one of like, is it Marge's hair is like 4 heads high or something, all those like hyper specific things.
Yeah. You gotta have
early
specifics.
Kind of Mystery Shack. They're all a little bit different, but like this is, just like a character lineup here. This looks pretty final to me.
I like there's 2 Stans. Like there's Stan when he's doing stuff, like, and then there's Stan when he's at home.
And the showman. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's weird because like there's only 2 seasons of the show.
Yeah, and that's all that he wanted.
And he doesn't want to make any more. And I'm like, but you have so much, and you seem to be like obsessed with your own show, so you don't want to make more. You say like. I feel like one day he'll run out of money and then we'll have to do more. But for now, it's like there's never going to be any more. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. I don't want to move. I don't want like a weird movie.
It would be great to have. Right? You don't want a weird movie?
I would love a weird movie, but I also kind of I fear it because I know usually like the movie after the show is like, oh man, that wasn't. I didn't want you to do that. No.
But think of all the extra shading on the characters in the movie. That's
right.
That's the main thing.
Right? Yeah, like that's how you know. The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers. I could see you.
That is.
Yeah. My first episode was not the first episode. It was like, I think it was like the Gobblewomper or something like that. It was one of the episodes like early in the first season. Maybe it was like the second episode. But I never saw the tease. The thing about me was Dipper and Mabel, like Dipper's part of the conspiracy. Mabel is beyond it. And Grunkle Stan couldn't care less. That was my entry point for the show. So when you get to the end of the first season and you find out that Stan has a secret, it's like, oh, but apparently at the end of the first episode, Stan accesses the secret doorway through the vending machine. Mm-hmm. So, but I like it better when you don't know that. I like it better when it's like a big cold reveal, like, oh, Stan actually was part of it the whole time. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what? Like for me, that was a great surprise reveal for me and my wife. We were both like, oh, because we both missed the pilot. And of course, we're catching it as it's coming out on Disney XD, everyone's favorite channel. And so, you don't know when it's going to come on.
So watching all these episodes, right? This was the one, Fight Fighters. It's
what an amazing episode and what an amazing friggin' like animation that show did. Like just how they captured the actual animation of like an old style video game.
There's that one line like it makes my shoulders bounce. It just got like that. I was like, fucking great.
Rhino flavor.
One thing that jumped out to me because I was working and then had the show on the side, but just let me know if you noticed. So this whole episode, video game centric, right? This is at the end here. Just let me know if anything sounds.
Oh, alas, 'twas not but a dream. Ow, 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 ow. Eating my friends. Ow, ow.
Now, it's not. I would like to think that that was Dorkly. Let's do the thing that Dorkly does. But it's a whole video game thing. I'm sure that's it. But in all the episodes, they play a soundbite at the end card there. But I was like, that's pretty close to. So
that's kind of close.
Yeah. I was like, I like that. That's nice. Whether they did it or not, I feel like no, but I like it anyway.
But I could claim it anyway.
Yeah.
What great characters too. Like Grunkle Stan is one of my favorite like new characters ever invented. I love Seuss and what is like just his genuineness.
I know. He's so great. Why am I blanking on the prospector's name? They say it like 1,000 times.
McGucket?
McGucket. I love that dude.
Yeah. You could tell they love that guy.
Oh, yeah. I think they love the voice and then just like, well, let's make a character around the voice.
Well, like Hirsch plays like everybody. Yeah. Like he's in everything.
So this was just a quick side-by-side here thing. This might get flagged into oblivion. I tried to chop it up to keep it short so that hopefully it breaks it up enough. But this just shows like the original, the first episode, opening sequence chopped up a little bit. And then after that is the pilot, just to show like how it kind of changes along the way.
Summer break.
So do you want cheese on that, hon?
Sure, Pie.
A time for leisure, recreation, and taking her easy. Unless you're me. My name is Dipper. The girl about to puke is my sister Mabel. You may be wondering what we're doing in a golf cart, fleeing from a creature of unimaginable horror. Summer break. A time for leisure, recreation, and taking her easy. Unless you're me. My name is Dipper. The girl about to puke is my sister Mabel. You're probably wondering what we're doing in a golf cart being chased by a tidal wave of horror.
It goes so hard so fast.
I know.
It really does. The second part is obviously like the earlier part. Like it's the pre-show.
Yeah.
Like that's not, and you can tell like it's very interesting where they were like, it's much darker. Like the sky is darker. Like everything is much more, not sinister, but it does have this air of danger.
Yeah.
It's like the Ninja Turtles like Red Sky period, or the like how Gotham, everything was painted in the Batman animated series on black paper. Like you could feel this like darkness in there.
That monster feels like a little Samurai Jack in a way.
Yeah, and it's just effing gone. They were like, how about instead of that, we're just going to go ahead and not do that at all. I got to tell you, wasn't always like this. I hate it so much. like, I'm out. You're probably wondering, I'm not.
I know.
I'm watching a cartoon show. I am not surprised. A golf cart, you say? You just blown my mind. Like, it's just, no. Like, just throw that convention right out the window.
It's crazy.
Right?
I know.
I love the juxtaposition of, like, the serenity of, you know, what things should be versus how they are. You know, I think the billboard gag works better if it's an actual image that they destroy, but you could throw it all out.
It's so funny. We do the same exact thing in the latest episode of Sonic for Hire as a joke. Like Sonic's it's already like at the crux of like the tense moment. You're like, probably wondering how I got here, and then we do a little bit of it. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Just like it's 2025. Like
No one's wondering anything.
No one's wondering anything. No one's surprised by anything anymore. It's over.
Yeah.
Like
it's funny.
Impressed.
That sort of trope. And then like one of the things that we would get warned about a lot from like multiple places of like being in development with like multiple places was when you're doing a pilot episode, don't do a body swap thing for the pilot. The audience doesn't know who that character is anyway.
Yeah.
So now you're automatically switching them around and you're like, all right, well, who the fuck is this character then? I don't even know. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of, because that was like when we would do like in a pitch deck, there's a part like future episodes or episode engines where it's just like ideas for future stuff. And like almost always that's one of the first ones in there. Like, yeah, then it's because it's just like a fun, silly concept of like them getting totally outside of what we know as their character, but the audience doesn't know. And now they're like, all right, so is this guy this person then? I have no clue. Like, but it's just funny that like it wouldn't even really dawn on me at the time of that. And now I'm curious like if there was any of that stuff. I don't even think there was. I can't think of any shows that would do that super early on. So I don't know if like everybody just warns everybody about it.
I really like that. That's a note. It's like, the body swap thing. Save that for season 2. There's no way.
Right. Exactly.
People have to be invested.
Yeah. They have to know them.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, oh, but I know them deeply. And it's like, you invented the show. I like that they're like, no bottle episode until like halfway through season 1. Like, just very specific and very like, really? And it's like, trust me. And that there is, you can see like how some studios might get caught up in the kind of geometry or like algebra of like storytelling, as opposed to just being like, just tell a goddamn good story, please, and we'll just all show up. As opposed to like, no, if we get X actor in Y story at like, you know, Z season, we will make this much money. And it's like, that's insane that you would think that. Because it's like you saying like, if I use this particular paint on this particular palette, I will sell this amount of money. Like, you're making art. How can you monetize or even predict what the audience's response is. And it's no, because I've been doing this for 30 years, and I can tell you there is some level, but you have to just like divorce yourself from, all of the behind the scenes of it.
Yeah. It took me forever to realize too, when you mentioned like a bottle episode or just like a clip show, it took me forever to learn the reason for those was like, usually at that point in the season, they need to save some money.
Exactly.
So like just make it as easy as possible. Use a clip show, make it a bottle episodes where it's just like, we're just going to have one background, save all the time and effort, like that kind of thing. I was like, oh yeah, all right.
I have a little pitch deck of my own that's squirreled away in some DVD.
Please tell me about the show. What is this?
Pull that out at some point.
Yeah, it's called.
Let's set a date for that.
Yeah, it's just College University. Demons.
It's called College University 2.
Yeah, it's not
the new class.
There's more where you class. No, the new class is Sonic and Tails because you can't tell me they're not in Mike and Parks' room.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are. Yeah.
That room, I'm like. No, it was a show about demons. It was, well, kinda. It was called Horseman. I did a whole podcast where it was like, I wasted 10 years of my life on this. It was, I worked with a company called Powerhouse Animation Studios, who had animated some stuff for Kevin Smith projects. They're still in the business. They're still doing stuff. They animated the He-Man.
Yeah.
Animated series for
and all
Netflix.
the Castlevania and stuff.
All the Castlevania, that's right.
Yep.
Well, before that, I bothered the shit out of them having I got all these character designs from the people who work there. Like there was it's a collective of animation titans who were all just working together, and so I got all these different character designs. I took one character from the pitch deck and then had 6 different animators come up with different looks for the show. Mm-hmm. And then I picked one of them and then was like, let's make the rest of the show from this model, and it was really cool. But so 4 idiots who inadvertently die. They're 4 friends who get killed, and because of the rules of the church, or of religion, they end up going to hell despite having not actually done anything wrong. They're just
That
stupid.
sounds about right.
Right, exactly. They're just
that
dumb.
Sounds very realistic.
I know.
Yeah, and so they go to hell, and when they get there, they're as annoying as they were on Earth, and they annoy the shit out of the devil, and so the devil just kicks them the hell out. But in the process of transferring from hell back to Earth, they're changed into demonic versions of themselves, and so they each have an element of their personality is exacerbated by the hellish power that they experienced, and so they kind of represent the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, but as their vices. So it's arrogance, sarcasm, apathy, and lechery. It was originally cynicism, but I was cynicism and sarcasm kind of are similar, so I'm going to drop cynicism and go with lechery. And so these 4 idiots are now exactly the same as they were, and they just want to be left alone and sit on the couch and watch TV and be left alone. But they're also these demons now, and so they died, and so they go back to Earth, and then there's this. Now I'm just pitching the show. I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
No, I love it.
There's this angel in heaven named Azrael. I bastardized a character from Good Omens. Their job, the idea is that God creates all these angels, and every angel has a purpose. And Azrael's job is to blow the horn that signals the end of the apocalypse. So for all of creation, Azrael has nothing to do, and he hates it because he is looked down on by all the other angels, Michael and. I create a bunch of angels Vulgate and a couple other characters, and they all have these fun Gabriel and Michael are the coolest, and they make fun of him, they treat him like a nerd in high school, and he wants to be Azrael wants to be taken seriously, so he tries to hasten the apocalypse, and he finds this loophole where if the horsemen are found on Earth, I can bring them back. I can call upon the early, I can kickstart the apocalypse early, and then I can have something to do, and then they'll see that I have value. And so he misunderstands that the guys are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, so he's bothering them. So the concept would be that he would try to push them into doing what they're not actually supposed to be doing at all. He's just it would be this kind of, he's an annoying neighbor who bothers them. It was just,
That's a fun. It was
a fun idea. The designs are the best part about the show. Was just
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I'll show you some time.
But let's stuff up.
It was called Horseman, and then I turned it into a comic book, and that comic book didn't get anywhere, and so I just threw it away. But it was a fun idea, and I have like 6 scripts written, and we got pretty far. Like I pitched it to a number of studios. The last studio, the only studio to pick it up was the Howard Stern Production Company.
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
They were like, we want to get into animation, we want to start doing this, so let's go.
Wow.
And then the guy who approved it moved to another studio, and the new guy was like, everything that he did is in the garbage, and which is how it works in everything.
That is, yeah, that's how it always works.
So
Very efficient.
That sucks.
Yeah, very efficient. So the show, because they were like, wow, you got storyboards and shit, like you got scripts, yeah, let's go. Like,
fuck.
It was. I'm in my college dorm, like being like, yeah, that sounds great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I can make the meeting. Yeah,
Damn.
it was cool. It was a fun, crazy time.
To do that shit in college, that's wild. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was sending faxes from my dad's office. I was like, can I borrow the fax machine? He's like, what? And I'm like, just sending I'm sending one sheets and script pages to like to LA from my dad's crappy office in Livingston, New Jersey.
Wow.
It was great. It was a fun little time,
Man.
and it was very expensive. I did have a pilot made. There is a cartoon.
Did Powerhouse animate it? Or was
No, that would have been like $10,000. This was much less, but it was done by a Newgrounds or animator.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was we didn't have like the voices, so it's just totally silent.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Throw it over here. We'll put some audio
I was gonna
on
say
it.
we should figure it out. I have like the SWF file. That's
Yeah, you can. That still works.
Do it.
yeah.
I'll do
I don't know.
voices.
I'll have. Oh my god. Yeah, to finish that'd be amazing. You'd be like, wow, how much did you pay for this? That is insane. I feel really bad about it.
What year was this, do you think?
2004.
That's early days of Flash animation for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I don't even know. I mean, could you have a computer that would even be able to open it?
If it's a Swift file, because that you can just drop into After Effects, or you can pull it into. I'm getting nerdy for it, but you can import it into Adobe Animate.
Nice. One time I did. I was like, you know what? I'll just figure it out myself. Drop in. Close.
Yeah.
I noticed this thing. So it used to be because you put those little cuts in the video of like, here's a segment, here's a segment.
Yeah, the chapters, yeah.
The ads would almost always fall in between the segments, but now ads are kind of getting sprung up on YouTube in random places. Dan told me about this. I don't know if you guys are aware. He said that like now they've basically like changed the algorithm to pop in an ad in like the place in a video where people are going back to rewatch it the most often. And so, like, he likes to watch a lot of comedy stuff online. So he'll be watching something and then it'll be halfway through a punchline and it'll just cut to an ad because that's where people are going back to listen to it again.
Yeah.
And he's like, it is ruining his experience. And I noticed in watching our last episode, there was something that like Mike was in the middle of a sentence and it cut to an ad and I was like, what the fuck? There's literally like, I can tell this segment ends in like 20 seconds.
It's like, just wait
20 seconds.
That's so funny. Yeah. I know they changed some ad stuff. It might have just been under the guise of like, or just doing that so that they can then like build in that sort of setup where it's like a popular section. We're going to throw an ad in there.
Yeah.
It's lame though.
There's a big push on YouTube where they're gonna demonetize like AI, like only AI content, repetitive content, which I was like, well, what does that mean?
Their entire YouTube channels put up for kids, and it's just like AI like visuals, and it's just like a shitty song is put up, and it's just like, oh man, it's the most like brain drool. Yeah, it's just awful. And I'm so glad please take those
that they're
things
pulling
down.
that. Because like the only reason they even make like the reason why there is like brain numbing crap is because they're trying to make money. If they can't make money, they're not going to bother.
Yeah,
totally.
So that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice to get all this schlop off. What?
I was just the repetitive stuff. I was just like, well, Dorkly's in trouble.
Oopsies.
No, there's at least it's content. Like it's actually a video. It's not just like. Actually, I feel like David Lynch's old YouTube channel might be in trouble. Where it's like, hello,
The weather
it is
today.
7:45 a.m. in sunny San Diego. Yeah, exactly. The weather is nice. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, maybe subscribe, leave a comment about what's your favorite Gravity Falls episode or character or whatever. Just leave anything.
Just any comments will do. I love them all.
If you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them, just leave a comment there. There was somebody was nice enough to leave a comment there, helping out AJ with where you can get some amazing Digital Circus merch.
Yeah.
So you guys got anything to plug?
Definitely, give us a like here. Give us a 5-star rating on audio podcasts. And if you want to check us out, me and my people, it's Comic Pop.
Yeah.
Go over there.
Go check it out.
Beautiful.
I got nothing. If you're watching us on YouTube, go listen to us also. If you're listening, come check us out on YouTube.
Yeah,
wherever you're finding us, go to the other
faces.
thing. Yeah, look at our faces.
Come look at our faces. That's all I got. We like you guys. We hope you like us.
So I think Back to the Future is getting bumped.
Yeah. Apologies to Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Apologies.
We can still talk about Gravity Falls and just how great it was.
I know, right? I will watch.
Maybe the audience will like that. They'll be like, "No, you guys only fucking spent like 10 minutes on Back to the Future, bait and switch." All right, fine.